call Season 3 of Sex Education a success? Because we'd call it a smashing success. There was drama, there was crying, there were breakups, and there was so much more that we will talk about in this video. And also, whether or not the show's expecting a 4th season. So, here is Sex Education Season 4. First look. Let's dive right into it, shall we? The Sex Education announcement. Gather around in the assembly hall, we have an important announcement. Sex Education has been renewed for a 4th season. This is what Netflix said on their Netflix India site. So yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing more of Moordale High and all of the drama, the sex, and the heartbreaks in the future. The previous season absolutely knocked it out of the park, and we as fans loved everything in the season. They've addressed all of the difficult questions we wanted answered, and it even shifted the landscape a little with that last scene in the 8th episode. Also, when you have a show that managed to score 82 out of 100 on Metacritic, a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, and an 8.3 on IMDb, you just know it's gonna be good. But now, we're wondering if they're going to include newcomers to the cast. From now on, the original cast will reprise their roles in the new season. Asa Butterfield is still going to be our quirky Otis, Eric is going to be played by Ncuti Gatwa, and Emma Mackey will still be our Maeve. But it's our prediction that she will meet someone new in America, bring him over to the UK, and bring a whole lot of drama her way, especially now that she and Otis have admitted their true feelings to one another. Now, as for Adam, he will still be played by Swindells. Gillian Anderson will reprise her role as Dr. Milburn, and Aimee will be played by Aimee Lou Wood again. In short, the cast will pretty much remain the same for Season 4, since there isn't a single character that's been killed off in the previous season. Now, since the show ended on a cliffhanger, we will have to talk about what's going to happen with the cast and crew, how the storyline will progress, but instead of making a season recap, we will talk about each of the cliffhangers from the last episode, and that's where we'll be telling you what happened on the show. So, first things first, will we see the sex clinic come to life? Before we talk about the sex clinic, don't forget to smash that like button. It keeps the almighty YouTube algorithm happy, and you keep getting these videos for free. The reason we know this will be a difficult question to answer is because Otis will now have to find a new place where he could give the valuable and somewhat expensive sex ed lessons. Since the old toilets got removed on the show, we're now faced with a different problem. Should Otis decide to reopen the clinic in order to get a meaningful pastime that would help him forget about Maeve, then he would need to find a new place to do this. And we sort of feel bad for the guy, because Maeve is gone from their team, and it's only going to be him and Eric. Speaking of Eric, will he finally, quote-unquote, fly? In the last episode of Season 3, we saw him breaking up with Adam. Before he did that, he told Otis that he actually cheated on Adam with a photographer he met in Nigeria. But even though it was a kiss and he felt horrible that he betrayed Adam's trust, he would still not take it back. It's an experience that freed him, that allowed him to explore his sexuality, and being tied down in a relationship will only stop him from, quote, flying. But we also know that even though he acts as Otis's voice of reason, he is also the guy that cheated on both Raheem and Adam, and on Adam with a guy he met in Nigeria called Oba. Now, we don't know if the writers will decide to change this in the next season, but it would for sure be nice to make Eric a more reliable character. But this just raises the question...
Can you imagine dancing with a whole room of people looking at you?
I think I'd like it.
Where does this leave Adam? Now that he has his heart broken and won that honorable mention at the competition, we might be seeing Adam branching out and trying new things. And of course, the first thing on his menu would be the catch that is Raheem. The fact that they were both cheated on by the same dude, we're looking at you, Eric, might probably give them a reason to be together. And we can't help but wonder how Adam's relationship with his dad progresses in the 4th season. After all, we did see a new side of Mr. Groff, which we didn't even know existed until the last episode of Season 3. He was all lovey-dovey with his almost divorced wife, so we're now wondering if he's going to become a little more understanding of his son as well. If you're asking us, we'd love for them to repair their broken father-son relationship. It wouldn't kill him to say that he's proud of something his son did. And now that we're talking about the parents on the show, it would only be suitable to mention Dr. Milburn and her new baby daddy. First, we found out that Dr. Milburn was pregnant, which was such a dramatic moment, we needed to pause the show just to take it in. Then came the childbirth. And finally, the doctor shocked us all when he told Dr. Milburn that the baby's father isn't Jacob. What? Do you mean to tell us that Otis will have a brother from either Dan or Harry? Okay, now that's just weird. And what about her husband, Remy? Is he part of this as well? Was that little kiss these two shared on the set not all the writers wanted to show us? Maybe Dr. Milburn had blown off a piece of lint from Remy's shirt as well, because we all know how that ends up. Whatever the case may be, it all boils down to Dan and Remy, and Dan even joked about the baby being his in the last episode of the season. Regardless of what happens, we're concerned with Jacob, who got his heart broken once again. Yeah, thanks, Doctor.
Gotta get my jacket.
We have our session with Dr. Cutton later today.
What about Moordale? Since the Moordale protest about making the school a sex school and the subsequent removal of Principal Hope Haddon from her position as principal of the school was left in a dire position. With the school now becoming an investor's worst nightmare, all of them pulled their funding from the school, which left the board in a horrible position. The only thing that gives us even a little hope that the show will find new funding is the little headline that read, "Sex School Inspired Protests Around the Country." So, as more and more schools join the march for introducing better sexual education in schools, the government will be forced to step in and include it in the curriculum. And if all the schools have sex ed classes, it's only a matter of time before the old investors come back. The main love triangle. Since Ruby saw Otis and Maeve kissing from the bus, this left her in a horrible position. But she's not out of the picture just yet, and many of the fans online are already picking sides, and they're either going for Team Ruby or Team Maeve. Now, the fact that Maeve is going to be leaving for the US was the worst news that Otis received. Even though he was happy for her, we also knew he was heartbroken and didn't know what to feel at the moment. He was just supportive and wished her all the best, but the fact that he asked, "So this is goodbye?" means that he wasn't okay with the decision. We'd love to see where they take this triangle in the upcoming season. On one hand, they can't keep Maeve and Otis separate, but on the other, Otis and Ruby had their moments. And Ruby even said the L word. On a related note, what do you think will happen between Maeve and Otis this season? You can tell us in the comments section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.